the words. So we can start. Yes? Great. So dear participants, I see that we are a little bit over the number of persons who were registered to this seminar. I'm very excited to announce the start of this seminar that is brought to you by Euroaccess Latvia. My name is Darya Aksionova. I'm the senior expert of Euroaccess Latvia, and in case you will have any additional questions, please contact me. In the end of our training, I will definitely put a slide with my contacts. But usually, as it is, my name surname at via.gov.lv. You can ask me any questions about, in case you are interested on further development of your career skills or transitional skills. But today we are focusing on transferable skills for researchers, career development, and our presenter today will be Lucia Salta. But before she starts her presentation, I wanted to say thank you very much to Sabine Rosmane, who will moderate this meeting, and who was very helpful initiative. And thank you very much, Sabine. Sabine will be the person who will contact you after the seminar, and also will send out to you all the materials. It will be video recording. It will be presentation of the speaker today's, and of course questionnaires that we will ask you to fill in. I want also encourage you to be active. Please ask questions. You can ask questions today, whether or in a chat box, or for example, you can also unlock your microphone in the end of this seminar. It will be approximately on 1 p.m. 20, and we will have a question and answer session. And I hope our dearest speaker today could answer all your questions, in case you will have many of them. But hoping for fruitful discussion, I will thank you, Lucia, also you, that you agreed to participate in our training today, and give you the floor. So I will stop sharing my slides. Okay. I encourage you to share your slides, and thank you very much to all the participants. Please be active and ask the questions in case you have them after the seminar. So, Lucia, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Before opening my slides, I would like to express all my gratitude to Euroaccess Latvia, to Daria and Sabine, who are really very cooperative and proactive, and also proactive during the preparation of our webinar for you, trying to focus on what we think you really need to move on to develop your career as researcher. So just a few words about me. I think that you have read my short biography. I've been dealing with this kind of topics, such as promotion of doctoral career, valorization of PhD skills outside of academia, transferable skills, career paths for PhD in non-academic sector since 2015, working together with other foreign universities such as like Liaison and the Swiss University of the Swiss Association of Western University, who had a rich program focusing on soft skills, on researchers' needs, on doctoral career promotion. So we started to exchange good practice and to organize together joint initiative for doctoral students at the end of their career path, and for PhD graduates. At the same time, I have also worked in the field of career tracking, because we think that to better understand the potential of a PhD, it is useful to track the career of our PhD holders over the last 10 years. And at the same time, doing that, we could find lots of top professional profiles showcasing that PhD are employable not only in academia, but also outside of academia. But anyway, today we will focus on transferable skills. So thank you very much to all your team and for joining me today. I have read your questions. Daria kindly sent me, and the other who had filled out our forms just to have an idea. And I see that some of you don't know a lot in terms of transferable skills. This I will try to be help to guide you. And now I'm going to open my slides. Okay, can you see them?
Yes, Lucia.
Yes.
Lucia, everything is fine. Yeah, we can see.
But I have to. Okay, so, and can you hear me? Is okay. Okay. So transferable skills for researchers, professional development in motion is the title of our PhD, because I was explained that you need this kind of training, which is anyway widespread and popular all around Europe. And the topic, the main topic will be transferable skill in the interdisciplinary skills that I was just, sorry. With a particular interdisciplinary skills, as said, so useful, so crucial in the workplace, with a focus on communication skills, project management skills, grant acquisition and fundraising, and how to commercialize your idea. That's to say, entrepreneurship, how to develop, to strengthen entrepreneurial skills in researchers. Because we have to understand that the nature of researcher in this century is different in relation to what happened in the past. Because in academia, researchers have to be able to be great communicators. In project, they have to be able to be good at project management, at grant acquisition. And they have to be able to commercialize their idea, to manage stressful situations for them. That's why you need, as early career researchers, in relation to what happened in the past, you also need a robust transferable skill set. And let's start trying to focus on your potential, because during these years I spent working on this topic, little by little, I realized, I gained awareness of the fact that PhD graduates are not so aware of their full potential in terms of transferable soft skills, called also professional skills. That's to say, all those skills you have developed during your doctoral training, next to your technical scientific skills. So try to repackage. It is true, your PhD was an academic experience, but also at the same time, it was also a professional experience. Try to repackage your PhD. Think it in terms of transferable skills you developed during your doctoral training. All these skills we are going to analyze now in the slides I've prepared for you, core competencies shared by the majority of PhDs, regardless of their area, of their disciplinary area, can be used in many different contexts and help you build a very competitive professional profile. It is true, the PhD is the highest level of university education. You have to carry out a research for 3 years, then you have to write a thesis, defend it in front of a jury of experts. But at the same time, all these things do really constitute a professional experience. However, well, I'm speaking about my experience in Italy, but more or less, so in the Mediterranean area, the potential of a PhD is still poorly understood, both by employers and PhD themselves. So we have to help PhD to realize their full potential, because to increase your employability, it is vital to raise awareness of those skills amid doctoral graduates and employers. So we have to try to raise this kind of awareness of the value of a PhD to increase your employability, because you are really employable. And now I'm trying to give you a deeper insight of transferable skills, demonstrating all the benefits of a PhD. Not only so the benefit in terms of scientific skills you have gained during doctoral trainings, but all other benefits you are maybe unawarely gained. So if you have questions, anyway, you can write them in the chat. You can also interrupt me. I am free to answer. I'm available for answering. What are transferable skills? Transferable skills are these competencies you acquire as early career researcher during your doctoral training, but they are not necessarily related to your research field. You can also acquire them in other contexts, in other places. These kind of skills, as said, they can also called professional skills, are those skills you have learned in one place and that can be used in another. You can also acquire them in different contexts, holding lectures, supervising students, running workshops, in family hobbies, volunteer work. So, and these skills do really represent your potential. They are crucial when you are looking for a job and when you are trying to prepare a successful project, when you are asking for funding, for example. Unfortunately, you are invisible to employer, but they need you. They need you. University need you. Companies need you. International organization needs you because of your ability to do research. Don't take it for granted because you are not at a master level. You have a PhD. This is the highest level of education, and you are able to do this, to carry out research, to analyze data, to gather information. You are very good at information processing. You are able to innovate. You are creative. That's why. And just a few examples to give you a better insight of the value, the potential of your PhD. You wrote maybe 50,000 word thesis, a 50,000 word thesis. Well, in non-academic context, for example, it is difficult to understand the value, but it shows that you have the ability to present, to plan a project and to deliver it to agreed timeline. You did a PhD. You are able to work independently, to carry out a work independently, a research independently, at the same time supervised by your PhD coordinator, and with implying also a teamwork. You participated to conferences. I'm reading the left-hand column. It means that you are able, at planning, you developed planning skills. You have already this kind of skills because you are helping to organize events. When you are doing experiments, maybe it doesn't work, but you have to find out why and try again. Well, this is an example of your problem-solving skills. You need this kind of skills. Your research group was international, or maybe you have to spend some time abroad for your research. It happens. So you develop the ability to interact with foreign researchers coming from diverse professional backgrounds, sharing the same common goal. You took part in science communication or public engagement events such as science festival, visiting schools. You are able to communicate because you have to develop communication skills. You was in charge of a piece of equipment, or you have set up a research seminar series. So you have developed initiative because you did something independently, and you show you are self-reliant. You are able to understand scientific journal articles. Not everybody, don't take it for granted. You are able to understand to grasp scientific journal articles. This kind of knowledge can be used in other jobs also. At the same time, when you're doing a PhD, it happens that you have to develop teaching skills because you have to design, prepare, and deliver lectures. It happens. Maybe you have to facilitate small group seminar. You have to do one-to-one tuition or coach. You have to provide feedback and assessment. You have to deliver training, identify training needs for individuals and groups, or design intervention involving external suppliers. So you see how many skills unawarely you have developed. We have to speak about, we have to also to consider future skills. This is also the title of an interesting project called Mindset Project, carried out 2 years ago by the Free University of Berlin, together with the Technical University of Milano and other European university, and they concentrated on what are future skills, because you see, the job market changes very quickly, and we need the pandemic itself has changed the scenario. So future skills are crucial, and PhD graduates already have this kind of skills. Read analytical thinking and innovation, but you have developed this kind of thinking, complex problem solving, critical thinking and analysis, active learning and learning strategies, creativity. You are creative, original, and when you are writing your PhD, you have to be original. Because you have to fill the gap. You have to be creative. You have to show initiative to move on with your project. Leadership and social influence, emotional intelligence, technology design and programming, system analysis. These are the future skills which are becoming so important for professional life anywhere, both in academia and outside of academia, and for social participation. So what are future skills? Technological skills, digital citizenship skills. Everybody needs now, especially after the pandemic, when the world will be not the same of before. Classical skills, so entrepreneurial actions, so stamina, are becoming really increasingly important. Technological skills are skills that will shape new professions. So any kind of new profession will be shaped by this kind of skills. Future skills, digital citizenship skills. Everyone needs this kind of skill for their professional life, for social participation. And they include digital literature, handling complex amount of data. Classical skills are soft skills. So creativity in a so rapidly changing world. You have to be creative, to be flexible, to improve entrepreneurial skills, to be resilient, open to change. And these kind of skills are even more important in the future because the required professional profile are constantly changing. The power itself of doing anything for a long period. Stamina means doing anything for a long period of time without getting tired or giving up. So this type of professional profiles, both in academia and outside of academia, are required, definitely. And one of the questions, typical typical question of our PhD students regularly attending our webinars is, but how can I identify all these skills and put them in my CV or valorize my job interview? You have to be prepared. It is not something you can do in 3 seconds. There are also operational tools helping you in this process, helping you to identify, to gain awareness of this kind of skills you have. Association Bernard Grégory, I'm quoting now, it is a French association founded, I think, 30 years ago by the French Ministry of Research to promote doctoral career, because they were already aware of your full potential, of how early career researchers were crucial for the knowledge society, and the impossibility of academia to hire all of them. So they created this kind of association to help PhD to prepare their postdoctoral career path in different contexts. And they have developed, they are really professional. I think that in Europe, they are leader of career development for researchers, especially for researchers looking for job in companies. So they prepared a really very helpful tool, operational tool called DocPro, describing the 24 core competencies. You see, the 24 transferable skills you own, you develop during your doctoral training. And this helps recruiters to gain better understanding of your potential. It helps heads of doctoral schools, PhD coordinator, career development facilitators, so to better prepare PhD students for their next professional step. And PhD holders, recruiters, and academics can, thanks to this operational tool, share the same language, because it is also a question of language. And so I suggest you, I strongly recommend you to have a look of this operational tool, because it helps you to gain understanding of all your transferable skills. And how doctoral training is responding to the demand of labor market. And now I'm gonna show you how the investment you made to complete your PhD will not be lost, neither in academia nor outside, because a PhD can really be of great benefit for the wider community. And now a deeper insight in these transferable professional skills you already have, but you have just to strengthen them, to work on them. This is a top skill. So I wrote sought after by companies, but it is important, and I will show you later, even if you stay in academia. Project management. Well, complex projects need to be planned and efficiently managed. PhD are able to do that because they have already managed research projects, maybe with a limited budget, working in laboratory, and this kind of skill can be transferred to industry, but also to project management. When we are applying for funding, we are preparing Horizon 2020, we want to apply to Horizon 2020 call. Teamwork, this is crucial to be able to work independently, but also to be able to work in team. You are a winner when you are able to work in team. This is an essential skill for today's job market in academia and outside of academia. It is a necessary skill to engage in productive collaboration. Well, but PhD have already worked in team in the laboratories, so because they gained experience in teamwork and collaboration. Organizational skills. You need this kind of skill when you prepare your PhD, because you had to organize independently your work if you wanted to move on and to complete your PhD. And the PhD is a complex research project. So, and in other contexts, candidates will often be involved in multiple projects, so they have to be able to organize their work. They have to be able to give priority to the various duties and deliver the work in adequate timelines. Well, relationship building network, this is a crucial skill in academia for the ones pursuing an academic career, for the ones maybe moving to companies. Interpersonal skills helps build teams with a strong foundation of trust and accountability. And PhD have already developed this kind of relationship. They have already built relation. Maybe while working with overseas colleagues is an added value because they could exchange point of view on their research projects and build and maintain relationship, use diplomacy, give and receive constructive criticism, be tolerant and respectful, emphasize with the others. Now, bear in mind the importance of emotional intelligence. We will speak later on in my presentation, we'll speak about artificial intelligence, but emotional intelligence is important as well. And it is really a key ingredient, I would say, in academia and in business in general, because it allows you to produce positive results in very difficult working environment. And so if you strengthen these skills, you will be able to assess people, predict chances of develop trust. Maybe you will be able to influence decision making in a professional manner. And then entrepreneurial skills, we will then later on come back on to these themes. It means, what does it mean? And you need these skills. You need to develop to strengthen this kind of skills. Commercial awareness, prioritization, leadership, decision making, innovative and original thinking, to be able to think strategically, to work independently, to communicate professionally. And these skills are essential if you want to pursue your academic career and if you want to move to other sectors. Communication skills. When you are on top position, you have to be able, you have to deliver presentation maybe to non-academic audience. So you have to be able to translate the scientific information into a message which can be understood by a broad range of external audiences. You have developed during your PhD skills in scientific writing, and now you have to apply to a series of responsibility. So because during your PhD you were involved in a sort of academic activities such as interacting with undergraduates for teaching, delivering PowerPoint presentation for conferences, and so you already could develop communication skills. And then bear in mind, you have to strengthen your influences and negotiation skills because this kind of skill will help you in business situation. And also when you are applying for a Horizon 2020 call, you are preparing a call for application. PhD, if you think it over, you are already using negotiation skills because you have to when you are preparing your PhD thesis, because you have to convince the dissertation committee, your PhD communication coordinator about steps taken in your research program. Maybe you have to discuss the value of your research in a conference. So you have already during your PhD developed this kind of skills. Adaptability and flexibility. Well, employers undoubtedly prefer candidates capable of improvises to find the right solution at the right moment to solve complex problem. And PhD students during their PhD, so early career researcher, have to adapt to new challenges when preparing their PhD thesis. They have to deal with multiple projects, require maybe different lab equipment, creative problem solving. This is a skill, this is a top skills you need. When you conduct a research project, when you write a thesis, you have to pick up new and complex problem and quickly. And companies, but also academia, prefer candidates able to quickly solve problems, able to think laterally, to quickly find answers to difficult pressing problems. Strategic planning. You have your career when you prepare your next professional style, and when you move to another step of your career, you have to strategically thinking. You have to plan it strategically to win. A PhD have the know-how to act upon information, multiple research projects based on constantly changing feedbacks. The ability, you have showing the ability to be strategic is very valuable in the job market, because you have to plan, to be used to a long-term planning. And so, I think that after this description, now I hope you could gain a bit of awareness of your full potential. This kind of skill, transferable skills, or named also professional skills, are very valuable to employers, because you show that you would be a good fit for them. And you can demonstrate that you will bring an added value that you have learned from your previous, and you can bring to the new working environment what you have learned from previous position or experiences. As said before, when I introduced myself, I told you that in the last 5 years I worked with, I also tried to gather success story of our alumni PhD, of our PhD graduates who are now on top position in academia and outside of academia. And we also organized interview with them, because we think that it is fundamental to for our young early career researchers to listen to them, to their success story, maybe to their failures, because they learn a lot from the ones who already prepared a career, maybe also a career transition or a successful career. And I asked them, which competencies acquired during your postdoc do you see in your current job? Answer on the right-hand columns. Specialized academic skills, research and analysis are part of my core offering. Get to the real problem. I wanted to ask, sorry, just one moment. Ecco qua, metto di qua. My experience as a PhD supervisor has taught me to identify the real issue that clients need to address. Communication skills, teaching, this was around the answer, gave me the ability to convey complex method and perspective clearly. Out of the box thinking, so basic research has taught me to dig deeper and see things from a different perspective. And this is useful to clients when come to me with complex issues. Network, which competencies acquired during your postdoc do you use in your current job? Network, so the ability to connect with other organizations and companies that work in a field you are interested in. So reach out to them and set up meetings. This is a way to get a real sense of what I do, how they work, and how you might be of value of them. Consider self-employment. If you decide to maybe to set up your own business, consider find the right support from the start. So core science competencies, as I already said, research, analytical skills, and especially time management are fundamental to the work I do. The answer was of someone working in a company, but time management, it is important. It is fundamental even if you are conducting research in academia. Build a strong network. Network counts a lot for you, for your career development. Your knowledge is very, very valuable to companies or to academia, but also your network, because when they hire you, they also inherit your network. Being a team player, so you have to be able to, it is true, to work independently, but you have also to be a team player. And when you work in an organization, private or public or private, because organization, academia, companies, international organization are not looking for lone riders. They are looking for team players. Remember it, keep it in mind. They are looking for team players, open, constructive, proactive, able to work together towards a common goal and finding the right solution. Other competencies, time management, doing tight deadlines, and require flexible time resources. Make sure you can, if you don't run the time will run you. So writing skills, writing articles, reviewing papers have taught you to write clear and compelling text. Applying for funding, we'll come back to this, to grant acquisition later on. Having applied for a number of postdoc fellowship, you know what makes a good proposal. Organizational skills. As a postdoc, you organize conferences, seminars, series, outreach activities. These experiences gave you confidence and organizational skills. You could gain organizational skills through these experiences. And now you can transfer these skills because you are able to coordinate different kinds of activities at university. Complex thinking. This is a competencies acquired during your doctoral training. And this can be very demanding intellectually and calls for good analytical skills. Career planning. This is a lifelong process, I would say. Planning what you want to do after your postdoc takes time. Think carefully about what you like and don't like. This is very important. Consider what you enjoy and you don't enjoy in your current professional life. And look for profiles that match your preferences. Don't leave this to the very end of your postdoc. So think carefully, starting from now on, about what you like and don't like. Check out job listing for inspiration. Have an open mind. Be open. You might be surprised. Maybe you think, no, I want to stay in academia, but be open. You might be really surprised to see where the interesting opportunity, how many interesting professional opportunity can be found in other contexts. Core science competencies, thinking analytically and being curious are fundamental prerequisites to the work as a scientist. Going abroad, researching abroad, apply for a position maybe at a top university in your field, and stay there to consolidate your competencies, but don't forget to maintain your network at home. Maybe when you are abroad, give research talks and seminars. And I have also had it work because I found it very interesting by one of our testimonials in our tip and trick sections. Work with people that are smarter than you. Try to learn how they think and act and prepare yourself for your future career. As said, you can acquire transferable skills also in other contexts. This is an example. In my military career, I coordinated the training and deployment of over 250 personnel to operation abroad. So it means that you have developed team leadership, project management, resource management, resilience. Skills are at the heart of the hiring process. As I think that both in academia and outside of academia, if you don't prepare your CV in terms of skills, you won't be successful. You won't overcome successfully your job interview, because they are really at the heart of the hiring process. But what we need, we have to build, to create a common vocabulary between academia, doctoral graduates, early career researchers, and companies hiring them. You see, so the approach to the labor market, but I would add to academia, has to be skill-based, a skill-based approach. You know, the degrees are often outdated when they are obtained due to the rapid technological change, digitalization, the rising degree of work complexity. All these things are changing, are transforming the labor market. And we are expected to be asked for new skills and new jobs, and you will find new kind of jobs. So skills really play an important role in private and public sector. They are really the new currency for the labor market. And soft skills, professional skills, transferable skills are really in great demand. And they are a combination of personal traits, behavior, and social attitudes. As explained before, you can take them with you anywhere in the company and outside it. You can buy them, you can sell them, but you can take them with you anywhere, because these are power skills, durable skills, especially now with the pandemic, in a so rapid, with so many changes, technological changes in the job market. These human skills, so creativity, time management, adaptability to change, to rapid advancements in technology, leadership, problem solving, are really power skills you can bring anywhere. Employers, so university and companies, are really in need of this kind of skills, this soft skill, such as being able to communicate effectively in a variety of situations, show initiative, creativity, integrity, having a good work attitude, being able to adapt to new situations, are really valuable skills. And so you see now that academia and business are not poles apart, because you can see now how portable are these skills you developed in doctoral training, during your doctoral training. Employability in different contexts arises from a number of competencies, and these employers, academia, and companies seek for a mix of intellectual, social, and organizational skills, as well as your technical and specific scientific skills. What are the most needed transferable skills? Project management, communication skills, entrepreneurial thinking, relationship building, organizational, this is to sum up, organizational skills, professional development. I would underline and stress professional development now more than ever. Take care. Bear in mind that professional development, lifelong learning is fundamental to be competitive on the market, on the job market, both in academia and outside of it. Client-facing skills, teamwork, negotiating skills, legal and regulatory aspect, leadership, creative thinking, collaboration, teamwork, commercial awareness, strategic planning, problem solving, adaptability and flexibility. These are the most needed soft skill in different contexts. And that what competencies are important to the organizational culture: problem solving, technical expertise, creativity, collaboration, communication, innovation, research skill, emotional intelligence, project management, self-organization, strategic thinking. You already have this kind of skill, leadership. You have just to strengthen, to work on them, to invest on them. I read your questions while preparing my slide presentation, my webinar. And someone asked, what kind of jobs are available to researchers outside of academia? Well, you have really a broad variety of alternative careers, and I would add top career. Research for external body. Companies have a research and development R&D department. So you are the right person. Function manager, production manager, HR manager. These are top positions requiring top skills. Business development manager, research science policy manager, public science, and in the field you can find a good position in the public science engagement field. Health, in the field of a health professional, teaching, doing private tutoring for individuals, consultant. You can become a consultant. You can work in the ICT field, or in the field of assessment for professional bodies as well as academic boards. You can become a scientific journalist, a law professional. You see how many career paths. We have recently organized a webinar series whose title was Career Path for PhD, and we invited our alumni PhD on top position now as CEO, as innovation manager, as senior research manager, to showcase how many career paths, how many doors a PhD can open you. Industry, my list is going on. Industry career application scientist, quantitative analyst, science public policy advisor, product manager, clinical trial, competitive intelligence, business development manager, intellectual property lawyer, technical sales specialist, medical science liaison, research analyst, market research analyst, technology transfer officer, climate change expert, digital forensic expert, science editor. You see, teaching and presentation skills are essential for technical sales specialists. Careers in medical communication. This is another possibility for PhD graduates coming from this area, disciplinary area. Medical writer is a profession, is a communication profession. You need top skills, high skills. You have to be highly skilled to become a medical writer. And it is an option for PhD interested in a career far from research, participating as exhibitor in medical congresses or during the meeting. You have to be, what do you need to become a medical writer? You have to enjoy writing and communicating in English. Original job for PhD, this is the title of another of our sessions. So science communication, you can work in the field of science popularization, graphic design, event management, research grant manager, dealing with communication activities and design of management tools for researcher, science editor, education specialist, digital forensic expert, museum manager. You see how many professional profiles. Maybe I was already asked, what does a business development manager do? You have to strategically devise a plan, and company need this kind of professional profiles because of your ability to learn quickly technical skills and translate them into business data. So you see, it is not so easy. Don't take it for granted. A PhD is able to learn quickly because he has conducted a research. He is able to translate technical skill in business data because he gathered a lot of data. He was able to, during his PhD, to analyze data. contract research associate, you have to speak the language of the industry, of clinical trials, because you cannot use academic terms, obviously. Project manager, because company needs project manager, because they are highly organized, and PhD are highly organized and able also to work remotely. Regulatory affairs, we invited a PhD graduate to run a seminar, a workshop on, because she's working for the European Medical Agency, EMA, in Amsterdam, in the field of regulatory affairs. Company need people able to read regulatory documents. PhD can do that and make sure that company is following regulation. Medical science liaison, even more popular now, I would say. To become a medical is a very interesting job, and you are able to learn quickly information, coordinate. You have, obviously you have to speak the language of this. You can become a medical science liaison to work in this field. It's an option. Data scientist, so now the ability to communicate technical data, turn them into business data. So you have to be at the same time, you have at the same time to deal with investors, technical executives. It's a top job, I would say, for PhD, undoubtedly. So maybe for the following jobs, PhD is not necessarily a prerequisite, but most definitely it is an asset. And as I've said at the very beginning of my presentation, now we will focus in the last part, in the final part of my presentation, to communication skill, entrepreneurial skills, and project management skill. Well, science has very important thing to say now: climate change, medical care, artificial intelligence, and science is you as scientists, young scientists, you can no longer stay in your ivory tower in the sidelines in these important debates, public debates. You need to learn to tell your own story, because society needs your expertise. So you have to become able communicator. You need the necessary knowledge and skills to communicate your research to a non-specialized public. You have to know how to publish your research in newspaper, to reach non-academic audiences. You have to familiarize with social media channels such as Twitter. Twitter is very useful because it can be used as a tool for communicating research ideas. So you see, please invest in professional development, in communication, in strengthening your communication skills, because you have also to be visible as scientists online, and Twitter is an example. You see, we live in a very competitive job market, and as researcher, you need researcher and institution you are representing need to communicate your research to an international audience. So communication skills enable you to publish in international journals, to present at conferences in English, to apply for funding. You see, communication skills are really fundamental for you. And without these skills, you will be at a competitive disadvantage. Maybe you won't be able to win, maybe they can affect grant income, international presence, also reputation. You need to communicate your paper or abstract effectively in different contexts. You have to become both critical readers and writers of abstract through review. You have to write successful proposal. The insight and techniques gained are highly transferable to other professional situations, such as pitching to investor, networking, and even for interview. You have to give, you see, you have to speak clearly, to learn how to be clear, to speak clear in front of an audience, to be concise. And you see, often great ideas cannot be communicated so easily. And you really need to articulate research to a diverse audience now, and it is not easy to deliver your message with credibility, persuasiveness, and impact. To do that, to help, to strengthen, to help researchers to become professional in the knowledge society, the British Council has developed the Researcher Connect Professional Development course. There is also a course, because these are skills. To become professional, you have to practice and practice again, and to be guided. Writing skills to direct your research, literature reviews, peer reviews. This is all fundamental skills for you. Project management. You have to manage your research with confidence. You have to organize more effectively your work with less stress and become a successful leader. So project management is an important skill for everyone, especially for you staying in the research community. But I said you need guidelines to follow in order to ensure that your project is properly set up to get off to a good start. You need a guideline. And I quoting now Vita. Vita is in the UK, is dealing with this association, dealing with help this kind of topic, helping PhD realizing their full potential as researchers. Maybe you have been successful in attracting a funding for your project while preparing your grant project, but you have now to lead the project in the right way. So you have to learn how to set up a research project, to monitor it, report on your research project, making the most of your research project. So project management is something very articulated. You have to consider different things. So project finances, you have to become familiar with this kind of language and with the process, the related processes of your institution. Make sure that you are aware of any stipulation in the contract offer as to what might be ineligible expenditure. Approvals, do make sure you allow enough time for this. Bear in mind how frequently the relevant approvals meet in your organization. Staff recruitment, well, you are responsible for providing all the details to the human resources department. So liaise with them. Legal condition, you should ensure that you review the contract terms and that everything is okay with your project. So monitoring time scale, monitoring finances. You need to prepare periodic reports. The funder of your research may ask for these periodic reports. So you have to inform them at regular intervals about the progress, the advance of your project. You have to write a final report at the end of your project maybe your researcher office may complete the format for you, but you have the overall responsibility of the accuracy of your report. And records, don't forget records, because maybe if there is an audit and visit you, they ask for it. Grant acquisition, improving subsidy proposal and increasing rates access. In academia, this is fundamental. Providing an overview and advice on subsidies and grants that match the proposed research or career profile. Remember general grant schemes, the writing life cycle, writing tips, legal aspect. the evaluation process. So you see, association like Vita, Euraccess itself, obviously, are helping researchers to become professional at the same time. It is important for you to learn about the principle of developing multidisciplinary collaborative research projects, because you need to raise money for your research projects. Where can you find funding bodies? How to convince them? How to prepare a winning proposal? How to approach the preparation of a proposal effectively? So Horizon Europe, the European Union's framework program for research and offers many opportunities, but they are difficult. So the skills you acquire are transferable to this kind of program supporting research. And in the field of grant acquisition, there are some strategic aspects, such as introduction into funding opportunities, and you have to know them. Horizon Europe, what information documents are essential and helpful. So there are also seminar courses trying to provide researchers with a good understanding of the structure of proposal, how to organize the proposal preparation to make the process efficient, how to produce a convincing case, how to, to prepare the financing and budget, and also taking into consideration success factor and typical failures. Fundraising, why not fundraising? We organized in the past seminars on fundraising for university projects. Consider it, because having a clear idea of how to make research projects sustainable means taking a look towards the future. So what about fundraising? This is about a set of techniques and approaches aimed at ensuring the sustainability of initiative and projects, and it is playing an important role. Don't think of fundraising also only in terms of funding. A correct comprehension of fundraising-oriented approach is important, because you have to deal with the people, with different stakeholders, you have to strengthen your network, you have to develop a communication. Doing fundraising enables you to develop at the same time different skills, communication skills. You have to raise awareness of the project. So you have to acquire fundraising skills. And a few years ago, we organized a course trying to explain to our PhD graduates and students what does fundraising mean, which skills are required to correctly fundraise, how to identify fundraising objectives and goals, how and where to look for donors and retain, cultivate them, how to set up a multi-target fundraising campaign, including crowdfunding initiative, how to define, and you see how many skills, if you do fundraising, you need, how to define an operational plan to raise funds. And we also try to launch a fundraising campaign. And to conclude, research business, entrepreneurship, and management. So this is very difficult because you are not used to, you are not. How to commercialize your idea? You have to develop entrepreneurial skills. This is about the entrepreneurial capacity building, how to start and manage an innovative business, how to identify an entrepreneurial idea, make it profitable, start a business and deliver a successful product. You have to learn all this. There are also courses. Euraccess is going to organize in 2 weeks a very interesting seminar with an Israeli startup and the connected university. Understand the noise, commercialize innovation. So now we are at the end, so there is we have to bridge the gap between academia and industry. How to commercialize innovation. You cannot stay any longer in your ivory tower. You have to commercialize your innovation. Try to understand the noise in the system. Run a virtual innovation session. Build the works like prototype. Develop a look-like prototype. These are examples. Nowadays, we are also talking about disruptive innovation. And what is disruptive innovation? Disruptive innovation relates to a service that disrupts an existing market or creates a completely new market segment. So, well, you are innovative, you are the right person. Technical innovation is hardly disruptive, but you as a researcher have the competencies and skills to be disruptively innovative. You have the know-how to develop new business models to disrupt the marketplaces. And what about this? This is a good practice. As said before, IP&D, Innovation Projects and Development Ltd, they will run a seminar, a webinar for your access in 2 weeks. They were established in 2003 by a university professor of physics, and with a vision. He built his own startup. He had a vision of connected people, ideas, and resources. Thanks to his expertise in the creation of, he had a year-long expertise in the creation of startups, spin-offs, and licenses to strategic companies. Trying to focus on academia, on the interface between academia and industry. So it is really interesting, this webinar, for the new approach, because the approach is academia, industry, and the necessary entrepreneurial skills you as researchers have to develop for the new world. Connected people to connect people, ideas and resources. And this is a good practice I bring to you. IP&D engages in research support, projects including technology transfer, entrepreneurship. They organize international training and workshop, knowledge management, consultation, acquisition of soft skills, career fair, entrepreneur workshop in collaboration with the Weizmann Institute of Science and the Technion Institute of Technology. It's really a very interesting, innovative case of, it's a new way to approach to the problem of how to help researchers to commercialize their idea. We have to define research, commercial, technological transfer. So you have to acquire, as I've explained before, a new vocabulary. You have to try to think as an entrepreneur. I will try to show you now that you are you are similar to an entrepreneur. You need to take part, so in order for university-based knowledge to make it out of the laboratory, individual scientists, inventors need to take part in the commercialization process, called also academic entrepreneurship. It is hard for you because it's out of your comfort zone, but during my full presentation, I tried to help you stepping outside of your comfort zone, acquiring new language, and repackaging your skills and your PhD and your potential as researcher. So the business world may appear alien, daunting, unconnected to the research world, but it is not true. Because research commercialization allows technology created during research activity to be further developed in marketable products. So you have to liaise, to speak, to go to your tech transfer office. Technology transfer often refers to transferring a technology between a research laboratory and a commercial partner, including industry, academia, and state and local government. So you have to acquire new language. intellectual property, patent, copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, the rights to an article of intellectual property may be bought, sold, leased, rented, or transferred. So you have to gain, become familiar with intellectual property, this context. Because intellectual property is an essential component when evaluating invention commercialization potential. So to ensure that intellectual property is appropriately protected, researchers are highly encouraged to first disclose their discovery to their institution technology transfer office before sharing to invention. You have to work to be collaborative with this kind of office. Universities are operating a so-called tech transfer office, but unfortunately they're often performing badly as people in charge don't have a business background. So the problem is that we have to be prepared to the new world, and they don't help to commercialize research results, and they are the cause of that a lot of intellectual property is wasted nowadays. So it is very important to promote cooperation between industry, university, and research institute to connect scientific research and with the technological transfer office. How to help scientists, encourage more scientists and researchers to become more entrepreneurial, organizing formal gatherings to discuss the possibility from commercializing scientific research and get scientists comfortable with it, bringing representatives from established companies to encourage scientists to come up with a solution to a problem and let them see the possibility, give the scientists time to discuss the idea. So the idea among them, you have to become comfortable with this new language. We have to help you visualize how you can contribute to the commercialization of your research, of your idea.
Lucia, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but I would like to ask you how much more time do you need?
I have finished.
Okay.
Because I know that I have 1 hour. Okay, I have finished. We have to encourage you to take more risk. This is my last 3 slides. The rest of my slides, there are a list of links, resource material might be of help for you, tips and skills, because I was also asked how to manage stress. I also strongly recommend you this text published by Euraccess, online available on Euraccess, where you can find the similarity between the researcher and the entrepreneur, the researcher-entrepreneur. Any good scientific researcher has both the capacity and most of the critical skills necessary to become a good entrepreneur. You just need a different outlook. Many of the your skills, we have seen that, are applicable in your startup. You as inventor researcher offer the vision and the scientific technological foundation. Both good researchers take the initiative and are good innovators. You have just to look it in from the right point of view. As an entrepreneur, why PhD are potential entrepreneur? As an entrepreneur, a PhD candidate must truly believe in his thesis, and an entrepreneur must truly believe in his product. To achieve successfully your dissertation, you need to be intrinsically motivated. This is the same for the entrepreneur. You need to be confident about your skills for fulfilling this thesis requirement, and you have to be extremely optimistic about. And an entrepreneur have to be optimist. And you need an intrinsic motivation when you start a PhD.
I would like to add that researchers need to be a little bit more critical than entrepreneur, because usually researchers have a lot of more different and variable information on the subject. Lucia, so I will ask you to finish, because really.
Okay, I've finished. The rest of the slide is how to develop new skills. You can if somebody is interested, you can send them and read. There are some tips and tricks to develop.
Okay, just to sum up our session, I would like to encourage you, all the participants, to ask the question, whether in the chat box where the Sabine will monitor them, and ask Lucia, or you can use also the possibility and ask the question after the session, and in case we will have more time afterwards, we will also cover some questions that were asked previously, just in case you missed this information. Everything that you heard from Lucia will be recorded and provided for you by Sabine after this seminar today. And afterwards, you also will have the possibility to contact in case you need some advice from Your Access Latvia network. I'm the ENO of the Your Access Latvia, and you can definitely contact me as well. So this will be for now. That's all. A lot of emphasis on you. And we will proceed with the questions. Please, Sabine, the floor is yours.
Okay, so there is
my apologies for being so long. My apology for having run out of the time. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's quite okay. All right, Lucia. I think we can come back to how to deal with stress a bit later after the questions. So the question is, can you provide some interesting examples where a researcher from one field has moved to some industry, I lost it, which initially seemed unreal or hard to imagine? For example, a microbiologist moved to industry and now is working in a car development.
Yes, it happens. It happens because it's thanks to your transferable skills, you can also cover other roles. Maybe during your research, you are very focused on your precise research in your lab. You are, I think companies are not so interested in your focused research, but in all those skills you have at the same time developed and can be applied, can be used in different contexts. So I'm not surprised that a microbiology is working in a car firm, maybe because he's a manager now. So he uses his PhD skills in another way. Is very good at project management, at grant acquisition, is a leader. He is using transversally his skills.
Yeah. Okay. There are...
Anyway, sorry, I have prepared a list organizing our webinars for our PhD at the University of Torino. Of cases of success. We call them success story. So PhD graduates moved to other sector and are now maybe to United Nations and now are climate change experts. They don't do research in the laboratory, but this top position was reached thanks to their high skills. I can send you a list. We are organizing together with the University of Liaison and Geneva a webinar with our alumni, a sort of roundtable discussion, inviting these alumni on top position in company, in public services, and explaining how they translate their skills for other careers.
Okay, thank you, Lucia. And there are many thanks from the participants, and as well as another question has come in. Is it possible that someone can overestimate their soft skills?
Well, I think that you have to prepare. You have to prepare the career transition, because it is true. You be humble. This is a piece of advice given by our alumni. Don't go to the job interview. I am a researcher, I am a PhD, because a company has another culture. Maybe they don't know exactly what a PhD is. they need you to work maybe on a top position, but with people without the PhD, you have to be able to motivate all of them. So don't overestimate your skills, but put them in practice. Yes, I am a researcher, so you have to use me in another way, because I already know how to deal with a big amount of data. I know how to analyze data. I am very intrinsically motivated because of 3 years I was closed in my lab working intensively on my PhD. Show them, showcase them, but don't go and tell I am a researcher, because they want, maybe they won't hire you. They don't want someone who is not able to be humble.
Yeah. Okay, for now, like our participants, thank you for the informative and the useful information that you have presented. And while there are now other questions, maybe we can come back to the question that was asked during the registration. So how to deal with stress, because we know that during this transformative age, researchers, and as you also put in your presentation, you have to deal with a lot of aspects of like application and fundraising and project management, but sometimes like we are all human, and so we need to deal with this, and how to deal with the stress that is caused by all these aspects of researchers' life.
Yes, you are right. No, because now one PhD graduate could also think we are expected to know and to do everything. You have the potential, but you have to develop all these skills. In the end of my presentation, you will find the main actors, how to develop these skills to become a successful, a very good communicators, how to excel in project management. There are courses organized, for example, by She-Link, by professionals, guiding you. You need guide. You can become otherwise all that. And now I show you the end of my how to develop new skills. You see, you have to develop new skill, and some tips into how to develop. They can read it. Some the 10 best website for your self-improvement, free of charge. But She-Links, I will send you. You can reach out to me. I left my anyway. Daria and Sabine have my email. You can write to me. I am available for further questions. If you need some other pieces of advice, I will do it with pleasure for our friendship. I'm very happy to be here today, and I hope we'll keep in touch, because thank you so much to Sabine and Daria for the great work you are doing for your PhD graduates. So it's really important. They are lucky to have someone like you. You see here, achieving success with less stress, how to manage stress. And you can read it with calm later on. You see, these are if they want read something more, but in particular, I would suggest you to take also into account to consider Vita, ABG, Euraccess, and She-Links. You are all professional, providing the tools, the information, the know-how to become expert in project management, in grant acquisition, in fundraising, because you have the potential. They have the potential. They have just to strengthen, to develop, to practice and practice again, guided by professionals.
So, dear participants, as you saw, there is a lot of information, and I will send you the presentation a bit later on after we are finished. So you will be able to look through the many tips and sites that Lucia has pointed out in her presentation. So are there any more questions from you, postdocs? So
Sabine, in case we do not have right now the questions, please, if you can look up, we still have some time left.
Okay.
And can you look up those questions that were sent previously before this seminar?
Yes, I have here the question where allora.
Great, Lucia, please, in case we have some time.
Okay.
Yes.
Please answer.
decision making and deal with fears. For example, workplace changes, how to define a goal. A career transition has to be prepared. So think about it before the end of your PhD. Don't wait too long, because it has to be prepared. You have to be able to write a proper CV for a company, because every company has its rule, its culture. In our webinar, we showcases the difference, for example, from a job interview at Novartis and at La Roche. So you have to inform, visit LinkedIn, try to understand, to collect information about the company or the organization you are going to apply for. Everything has to be prepared carefully. For example, we also organize simulated job interviews, but in my list, there are links where you can find tips and tricks on how to prepare a job interview and overcome it, because you are in front of an HR manager. HR managers are not scientists, so they don't, in the very first step of the recruitment process, they will put emphasis on your soft skills. The recruitment process is...
I would like to add, Lucia, that even before that step, they will check, and there are a lot of human resources, different programs that you need to develop your CV so structurally successful in order to be chosen for this first step of the interview. Yes, yes, of course, it is important to have this opportunity to talk to the right person, but before that, you need to develop your CV in order you will be chosen for the position to speak.
You have to write it properly, and you have to be guided to know how to write a PhD for companies. It must be very concise, very short. Our webinar series taking place in a digital edition in June, next June, is about, with the University of Lyon, is about how to prepare a CV for companies, how to structure it, and how to successfully overcome a job interview. And we will meet HR, you know, Ferrero, for example, Novo Nordisk, or real professional, HR professional doing that and giving advice on how to strategically prepare your CV, because it is not the CV you use in academia. How to present yourself to industry, and what position could I am for a postdoc? Well, I can say, I will send to Sabine and Daria the link for the second question of our webinar. The title was The Recruitment Process, and it was run by a professional who worked for Novartis, who explained little by little, step by step, what happens. So and he is a scientist. He was a scientist with a PhD in chemistry who moved to Novartis and worked as he also helped them in the selection committee, and he was a principal investigator. I think that the best answer is in his webinar, how to best improve, develop transferable skill of researcher. In my slides, in my final slides, it was how to develop new skills. There are different ways to develop. Well, you can also learn by observing smart people with this kind of skills, but you can practice. So take advantage of your life at university. Maybe go in your department and ask to help to organize events. You will develop organizational skills. Ask your department to involve you in a coaching or tutoring, because you have to prepare teaching material, and you will develop. You develop transferable skill in different contexts. Maybe also volunteering. Alumni, now she's CEO, she's a top manager in Italy, and she told me that she had it to her CV that when she was very young, she was a referee in a football match. You know, the referee, the one who. So she was already able to take it, to decide, to quickly take decision. And you see, she developed in another context an important skill, so leadership and being able to find the right decision, the right solution very quickly. So take advantage also of other contexts. How to win projects if I have a low, yes, grant acquisition. to win projects, you to write better proposal. There are also professionals helping you to write strategically. It is something you need a guide. You need a guide, undoubtedly. What are the best ways to assess one's transferable skills? I think that to showcase, to bring practical example. I'm very good at analyzing data, because during my research at university, I did this and that and that, and this is the result in my publication and so on. So giving concrete example, what are the most common failures and how can they be minimized? Well, failures, not to prepare, thinking that you are already prepared for the external world. No, you are not prepared. You need to be prepared, to prepare a career transition, to prepare your next professional step, and you need a professional plan. So you have to think it over, think about your point of strength and your points of weak, what you would like to do, and try to develop your an awareness, because otherwise you can be convincing in front of an HR manager. If you go there and they ask you why did you decide to leave academia, you can answer, because I was without a fellowship. My fellowship was over. So your career is a journey, is a self journey. You have to think strategically and to prepare every move. Otherwise, you will fail. Do you have then another failure is not to be able to write a CV. So collect information how to write a win-win CV for companies. Do you have any tips how to successfully balance and manage the very diverse task and skill set we have to take and use as researchers? Well, I think that this is difficult to answer. You have to acquire a sort of distance from your work and to become how can I say, I think that planning little by little your career, strategical planning your move, giving importance to your professional development will help you to successfully balance your career. Digital skills are very important. We put emphasis on them during our webinars with our PhD students. Don't think that without this kind of skill set, you are out of the job market. Don't think that I am a researcher and I know everything. Invest on your professional growth, especially now after the pandemic. You know that the world has changed and working remotely will become the new normality, the new normal. So invest on your professional growth. When researcher could learn practical skill in specific methods familiar? It depends upon our to learn these professional skills, these transferable skills. Ask your university also to offer more training sessions, because you need professional to become aware of your full potential. How to reduce stress on the way of professional development for researchers? Yes, it is also your career is also might become a frustrating career if you don't get a permanent position. So you invest time, energy, and maybe you have a temporary position. So this is frustrating. This means stress. I have added some slides which are nice on how to to manage with stress. And there are courses, but some of them are also free of charge and online. Maybe mindfulness. Some of your colleagues practice mindfulness. I haven't practiced, but they say that it's useful. Mindful, and to be mindful, your mind is too full, and on the contrary, try to relax and to distinguish between solvable and unsolvable worries. Write down your worries, write down what you are grateful for. Mindfulness is a practice. Some university organizes, not ours for the moment, but it is. I can find. I don't find the slides because now there was. But anyway, it is also important to consider also the Council for Doctoral Education, which is a European voice of doctoral candidates, organized 2 years ago a series of webinars, of workshop, on-site workshop about mental health and PhD, because it is also frustrating to live in this sort of insecurity without a permanent position, and trying to help them to manage all this stress and to keep on and to become resilient. This, I'm not an expert in this field, but in my slide you will find some tip of advice given by experts with links to maybe to read something more or to attend free of charge webinar.
Thank you very much, Lucia. We have to sum up everything. So I would like to add some more information for you, dearest postdoctorates who are applying to this seminar. I see that the topic is significant and important for you. And I understand the current situation in Latvia with the postdoctorates and the academia and industry, and of course with especially when the time comes for a change, and especially for a change of your work, taking up new challenges, for example, applying new work experience or new field in your life. And of course, I would like to encourage and tell you that sometimes academia could not provide all the career development services for you. In case you need it, in case you have questions, in case you have doubts, or you just are looking for some information on the topic, you definitely can turn on to Euraccess Latvia, for example, or the whole Euraccess network that is very open and soon will become an ERA talent platform, but about it we will tell you when the time comes, of course. So you can search there a lot of different information on supporting institutions for scientific career development or career development in industry. You can also look up the information on how to develop your CV, how to assess your skills, your values. In case you need any kind of advice, please also turn on to me, and I will forward your questions, or especially to Lucia, that has stated that she's open for your questions already. So in case you need any consultation, so please use our emails. You can turn on also to Sabine in case you have any different questions. Please evaluate. If you need additional information, and Lucia also provided a huge amount of information today, you can also ask Sabine, and we will develop the next course more deeply focusing on some kind of more simple topic or theme that is more actual for you. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much. I hope that this was insightful for you. I wish you to enjoy our hot spring right now. I wish you to reevaluate probably your possibilities and understand that you have really huge opportunities to use your skills, knowledge that you gained during your PhD path in any other different fields. So thank you very much, Lucia. Thank you very much, Sabine. You was very helpful. And once again, I will repeat that today we will send out you all the links and PDF of the presentation. And we will wait also for your comments on questionnaire that the link will be attached to the email as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, and I will also thank you to all the postdocs. Thank you for being and showing up. And as Daria mentioned, if there is any particular topic from this overview of the transferable skills that you want to like for us to develop a course or a workshop, please do let us know. And yes, thank you very much. Have a wonderful Thursday, and
thank you and
too. Yeah, grazie mille to Lucia, and
it was a pleasure. I hope I will be useful for your early career researcher, and don't hesitate to contact me if you need other links, information, whatever. You have my contacts. It was really, I'm really very happy to be here. I was really very happy, and thank you to your great audience and for the very cute questions.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
Grazie.